Welcome to the Caffeine Fix PHX.
Hi, welcome to Well Coffee. My name is Kevin Kabala. I am the visionary and overseer of Well Coffee.
Today's coffee adventure takes us to the Northwest Valley, a little drive up 83rd Avenue past Happy Valley Road.
Cameras are rolling. Oh, we need our coffee cups.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. There it is. Got it. Boom. Cool. Thanks for having us here out at Well Coffee, the newest spot in Northwest Peoria, Northwest Valley. Talk about, you're actually sitting on a gold mine. You know, I don't know if you know that. Sunrise Relief Mountain was an active gold mine in the early 1900s, late 1800s, and there was gold and silver that was mined from this mountain in this gorgeous community that we're in.
Are you being serious?
I'm totally serious. You're sitting on a gold
I
mine.
did not even know that.
Is that why it's called Well Coffee? Are we digging a well?
Well, yeah, now, yeah, we've adjusted for that. That's so funny. Yeah, no, we call it Well Coffee. To be completely transparent is everyone, well is representation of like water, which is a source of everybody needing. Everybody has a need for water, but we want them to come for more than just that. We want them to like think they were coming for something, but then receive something higher. In this case, it's more than coffee for us. The coffee is such a high value, high value for us, but we're more interested in the person drinking the coffee than the coffee they're drinking, and that says a lot because we think a lot of the coffee. So,
Well, it's obvious. Let's talk about the coffee. Everything here is top-notch. What's the deal and the mission behind how you partnered with folks, the kind of products that you bring in?
So here's the deal. So we're connected in the center of this Westwing community, and there's a church here, Copper Hills Church, and they have a space where they built on, and they wanted to have a coffee shop for the community, but they didn't want a church coffee shop, and they didn't want to run it. But they wanted to lend it to something that would help and support the community and be for the community. And this was what my no looks like, because I've had 20 plus years in restaurants, and but I really started to think about it and get into the passion and the vision of it. And I thought I would only do it if we could meet a certain level. And that means it has to be premium. It has to be a representation of what we think of the community. And we think highly of the community. We really do. And so I have this strong belief of being in the business, watching people do things as quickly as they can, as inexpensively as they can, and then sell it for the most that they can. And it's that American Western culture, and it's gross. It's not healthy, and it's not the best thing. So I wanted to bring back some old school care for people and concern. So that's where I went on the adventure of looking for my sources of who I wanted to partner with. Specifically, starting with the coffee bean itself. There was a gentleman that I was working alongside with to get this going named Austin Blackman, and he, through his sources, connected me with Julia Peixoto Peters. And Peixoto is just, I think they just took like 4th in the world ranking in the top 50.
They're in the top 10 in the nation.
Yeah, and so they're just really crushing it. And we were looking for the top 1% of coffee levels on a Q grade, and they just happened to be here in Chandler. It wasn't just about the coffee, it's the whole vision and the passion of who Peixoto is and what they represent. Single origin in Brazil, the family owned, their sustainability. They go directly crop to cup, and they take out all the middlemen, and the farmers and the families of the farms actually benefit like it should be. And it takes away so much. The way they treat that family, the way that they treat their employees, the way that it's all family. And we're part of the Peixoto family. And it just, from the beginning, we've had this strong relationship of what we believe in quality and value, and those relationships. Their coffee is phenomenal. It's just top of the charts, and the way they work it and prepare it, they see every part of it. So that was our first stop, was identifying and selecting Peixoto, and then the other side of that was that's a big thing to get something like a Peixoto in your house and them to accept that and receive that. So then there's a standard that we have to take care of, because we don't want it to be a lot of times when someone goes and takes someone's product, they can ruin it or destroy it. So that was a huge thing for us, is everything we do has got to be as good as, or even if we can, be better, which we haven't, we're trying to do as good as they are for sure, the way they train their baristas and coffee knowledge and everything else. So we started looking through and sourcing our equipment. Things that we also found was like, okay, what are we going to use with the coffee? So milks. So I'm really a big, strong advocate for local. We want to do everything sourced local and fresh, and help these small businesses out that do such great jobs, but kind of get pulled over by the big guys. And so Denzizen, the milk, the local dairy, went out and met them, took a tour a couple of times, and saw how well they take care of their facility, their product, the quality they do. And we're actually, it was like old school when I was a kid. We'd get milk delivered to us in glass bottles.
I remember those days.
Yeah. So it's literally when we place our milk orders, they're milking the cows at 3 a.m. in the morning, and you've got fresh, in the bottle, cold milk, and that's how good it is. And if you were to do a side-by-side comparison of just milk that you get, in the plastic and that, compared to how this sits in the coffee and works with, interacts with the coffee, it's incredible. It's so good. We also looked at, we're more than coffee. We have matcha, we have teas, and then we were on the journey to find someone who's passionate about teas. And as much as coffee is the number one selling drink in America, tea is the number one selling drink in the world. And so we needed to get educated. We needed to learn and understand a lot about the teas, its style, its nature, and we found some subject matter experts in spirit tea. And they came out, the owners themselves, the president came out and spent a day with us, and spent more time than that with us, but it ended up a whole entire day of training and education, and bringing us along to understand the properties of teas and the different kinds, from oolong to black and white and green and just the reds. It's just so much that we've learned and developed, and we have such a great tea line, and it's served in such beautiful vessels, and it's delicious. So we're excited about that. Our matcha would be at if anyone knows anything about matcha, it's pretty earthy, but there is a lot of people who like to follow the matcha line, and we serve that at a ceremonial level, which means something to people who follow matcha, and it's delicious. So all of our vendors were hand-selected and considered, and that was through a bunch of interviewing. A lot of time was invested in building up who we are, including even the syrups. So you might have the typical syrups that come in that you can get off the shelf, or what you would see a lot of coffee shops order. And I wanted to have something, again, I found a female CEO of her own business her and her husband make up 30 years of chocolatiering. I think he's won 2-time second and national champion, and travels the world through doing syrups and candies and all that, but also with the syrups. So our vanilla you can't get it anywhere. It's a vanilla bean. It's got the specks of the vanilla bean in it. We've got a caramel. We've got the mochas from Nicaragua. And that also sustains a really great farm that's ran by women in Nicaragua, so that the children can go to school. We have a homemade honey lavender that's done with the local honey. We have an orange clove, which is done with 2 oranges in every bottle.
Which is phenomenal.
Yeah, and then we go on, like with the peppermint mocha, a mocha lavender, an eggnog peppermint, cappuccinos. There's just all of these flavors that are really, really delicious and mix really well with the lattes. But once again, they're done from scratch. They're done with consideration. And what we wanted to do was just make as great of a drink as we possibly could, and serve it in the best way we can serve, and take out no shortcuts whatsoever. Everything is weighted and measured and volumetric and timed, and it's just how we want to do it.
That's fantastic. And how long have you been open now?
We opened in early August, and so it's been going really well.
And the response, I would have to say, because I've been here quite a bit through the even before the grand opening to now, I mean, I am amazed every time I come here how many people are here. You're kind of in a little bedroom community. You're in a little mountainous valley set off aside, but people make the trip.
Yeah, it's so funny because coffee shops aren't necessarily a good idea because the number of failures in coffee shops. So it's gonna, if you're gonna do it, you really have to take it serious and know your stuff and commit to things. And it means you're gonna commit to saying no to a lot of other things in order to do it. And in this community, we do not have drive up. There's no, like, this wouldn't be a good ingress egress, but it's right in the center of a community. So it'd be a destination location. But when you're here, everyone just continues to say it's worth the coming out. We've done nothing in marketing except for put a little A-frame out front that says now open, and we just wanted to earn our guests' respect one at a time by name and get to know them and help them find their coffee. And they're the ones who have been going out and communicating their love for this place. And so we're really grateful for them. So
It's really gratifying to know that the love and passion that you have, and even the kind of the unique situation here, has been well received.
Oh yeah, it's so crazy. What we're hoping to do is, like, you know, coffee houses were literally done in houses, and there was music and there was poetry and there was, like, it used to be a hangout where people were social. And the idea of having to get coffee to go and just run to the next thing, we actually serve these beautiful vessels, and we primarily try not to serve in any to-go vessels at all, so that you're gonna have to stop and breathe a little bit and literally enjoy and have some music and some conversation. I think that's been a big thing. I'm really hoping that the trend of the third wave coffee shop is to slow down, to relax, and to literally enjoy the taste, the flavors of good coffee, the smells, the company. That atmosphere goes a long way. But I feel like that's something that's kind of missing. And so I hope that you would believe in the vision of just that idea of going back and doing life with each other, and doing it in a kind and cool way.
Well, you're doing it right, my friend.
All right, I appreciate it.
Okay, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much.